Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. The Arsenal once again victorious. And it's the post-game show player ratings with a little bit of magic in the house. Here we go. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. It's like that line from Friends where I think it's Rachel says to Monica, "You look like you slept with a coat hanger in your mouth." welcome to the Highbury Squad, boys and girls. The Arsenal win again. You win again. I can't remember who sang that song. It's a bit, hey, popping bottles corks over there.
Popping corks for League Cup semifinals, baby.
Mr. Magic Mike back in the house. Ooh. Welcome, Magic.
I don't know if you have to come up with a different thing because like,
I know everyone needs a different thing.
I'm not that nimble to be able to do all those things. Like I just have to basically like the center of the person on the Grammys when like the pop star does it, and that person's barely moving and all the dancers around them are doing all the hard work. That's what I need. So we'll work hard. We'll come up with one of those things where I just go like this or something like that, and
Tony and I we got a bit tipsy at a family wedding once and started breakdancing. It was nope, no bueno.
Can you do the worm? The worm used to be my big thing, and then I tripled in size, and the worm is now the giant turtle or whatever.
Well, I can do the sprinkler. And of course the white girl overbite. Oh my God.
I did that once and I actually broke my arm. So yeah, I don't get out too much anymore into the breakdancing club.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Remiss of us. I tell you, I lose my manners when Kev isn't here. Good evening, squaddies at ease. Welcome to another live edition of the show. We got Mike with us tonight. Everyone is Charlie Patinoing in the house, and goodness. Why not? Why, thank you very much, Josh. You know, we got the chains on. You know, we got the old silver chains on. You know, I just did it to impress my boy here.
Well, and Kev's always so dapper that he gets all the attention. In his absence, you bring me on, and everyone is just flocking over to how wonderful you look, and I am happy to be your wingman in that regard.
Mike, I tell you something. You always, if I needed a choice to have a wingman, you'd be it. Like if we were in a bar and something happened. Have you ever been in a bar brawl? Before we get to like the game and stuff like that, have you ever been in a bar brawl? Because a few in my adult, you know what? Let's save that to the end. Let's get into this because
all right, because I have a good answer to that. I mean,
me too. Okay. We have to do like yeah. I mean,
now I'm getting the sympathy. Mike looks good too. People in the chat.
All right, listen, the usual suspects in the house. Welcome to the Highbury Squad. You guys are awesome. There's no show without you. We love each and every one of you. It's holiday week, and what better way to get into the groove of the holiday spirit than a little bit of Arsenal winning? You know what, Tammy? You want a little bit of Pepe love? I'll give you a little bit of Pepe love. How about this? Here we go, right here. A little while ago, our very good friend MK from Arsenal Los Angeles put this together for us because we wanted people to appreciate Pepe a little bit. And we started having this conversation and we were like, Pepe don't preach. Of course, paying homage to Madonna. Here it is, especially for you, Tammy, always in chat and always a huge supporter of the club. His defensive work is a little less to be desired, but we're going to get into that with Magic. He's going to take us through the team and we're going to give our player ratings and stuff like that. But Magic, first half, second half, all the halves. You can only play who's in front of you. I'd like to give credit to everyone who showed up tonight. There was a good atmosphere at the Emirates, even though there were some empty seats. And I'd also like to give huge credit to the Sunderland fans. 5,000 strong away from home, Magic, always supporting their club. I mean, they've been up, they've been down. They're Sunderland till they die, and they prove it over and over again. What is your initial?
Yeah, they when I saw the when the coverage came on here, because it's on a streaming service over here on ESPN UK or on ESPN Plus, all I could see was rain and empty seats and little kids, which is great. The last of those three things is great. It's kind of a specialty of League Cup games given the pricing. I saw this when I went to the Leeds game. It's a different crowd, and that's a good thing. But between COVID and the weather and the opponent, I think a lot of the normal day-to-day fans probably took the game off. And so you had kind of a unique crowd there. Sunderland in the early part of the game really took it over from a noise perspective. You're always going to get that at the beginning of the game. I guess the game dictates whether that continues throughout or not, but props to them. They've got a long ride home tonight. They're all probably, getting on the train right now at 10 o'clock and have a 2 or 3 hour ride home unless they're staying in the city. But this game was what I thought it would be. And that is rarely the case. Whatever I say the game is going to be, it ends up completely different. And so I've actually started to try to use that to our advantage by predicting draws and other nefarious results, just so that I can be wrong in a good way. But yeah, I mean, the moment I saw Sunderland come out and play us, I mean, they came out to play football tonight. Respect to them for that. But also that was going to play all right into our hands. The question was going to be, can we put this ragtag group of 8 people who aren't used to playing together, haven't been playing much recently, all of a sudden they're thrown in together. Would the period of time where they were all just kind of feeling each other out and acting like 11 individuals instead of a team, would we suffer during that period, or would we navigate through it until we finally, took over in quality? And despite the goal that we allowed, I think that's exactly what happened. It took about 30 or 40 minutes to really kind of get the engines running on this team, and we kept them from taking an early lead, and so the game went on as planned.
You've got some of your brothers from another mother in the house. No
Love you,
Laguna
Steven.
here. Your littlest hobo, prod to pod. Aston also in the house as well, and the Arsenal Los Angeles.
Shout out to
group as
Ryan
well.
Netwood too from Detroit. He's in the house, and great guy who I met in Orlando. Well, who I met in London and then saw again in Orlando. So
Arsenal
love the community.
Arsenal New Zealand claiming you'd be the one sleeping in the corner on the bar brawl. Lucas, bar brawls laughing my ass off. Them Sunderland fellas would have some good stories, I bet. I completely agree with you. Mike, always be goose. Listen.
Is that a Top Gun reference? Because
it is.
I'm movie incompetent. But.
Good evening to all 260 of you in live chat on this fine Tuesday evening, morning, middle of the night for a lot of our listeners. Let us know where in the world you are, of course. I know it's Christmas week, but the fact that you're tuning in when you do is always welcome. And of course, immediately after this, Mike, one of the most hardworking, Mike is going to go over to...
She just instantly pictured me standing in a pool and realized that was not the best way of describing me. I work hard. It's just not at podcasting.
Mike's going to go over to his show where you will all get the opportunity to pop in and say hello and be live. I mean, look, all your boys are here. They're all here. They're all here.
It's a lovely evening in Highbury.
We got South Africa in the house. We have Australia. We have New Zealand. We have Jamaica. We love a bit of Jamaica. Another New Zealander here. Welcome to everyone. Right, let's get stuck into it. Matty K, regretting going back to England and leaving Southern California. Hope you're well, Matty. Taib, moaning about the merch again. Taib, watch your back, I tell you. And look, Craig, Galoa Boyev myself. Look at the squaddies are learning Greek as well.
Wow.
That's good evening. Good evening from Craig in Greek. Bravo, Craig. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ. Ελπίζω καλά να είσαι. Google Translate that one.
Panathinaikos.
Hit it, smash it. Super K's voice.
Yeah,
Super Kevin is on Sky Sports.
We got 300 in the live chat. 99 thumbs up. We gotta get 200 live. We gotta get 200 thumbs up. Hit it, smash it, caress it. There you go.
All right, Mike, let's get stuck into this because thank you, Sunil. I did. I didn't want to brag. I just wanted someone to bring it up for me. I said 5-1, and there it is. Thank you so much for that. And of course, Nutted. Who wants to talk football now? I said to Mike, it's going to be a quick 30-minute show with the two of us. Never going to happen. I said, no, ever. No. Mike, take us through the team, and then we could talk about stuff as it rolls.
All right. This is
hold on. Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Because I did say I was going to read out some stats real quick before you do that. Okay. We had 21 shots. They had 9. Oh, wait, no, this is Leeds. Arsenal beat Sunderland. I'm so happy. I mean, seriously, I'm so happy. I'm giddy. I mean, it's so good.
It's the season to be jolly.
Fra la 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 la.
La la la.
Okay, we had 19 shots on target. They had 12. 19 shots. They had 12. 10 on target for us, 6 for them. 69% possession for us. 621 passes compared to their 276. We had a 90% pass accuracy. They had 12 fouls. We had 10. They had 4 yellow cards. We had 1 magic. No red cards, 5 offsides for them, 2 for us, 5 corners for them, 2 for us. Listen, I know they're a League One team, but this is where everyone keeps saying Arsenal falter against teams like this. They don't show that their second team can perform. You can only play who's in front of you. Listen, we're in the semi-final of the League Cup. We haven't won it since 1993, since Kevin Campbell was at the club. It would be so cool to win this competition. Magic Mike, take us through the squad.
All right, so we saw a starting 11 that looked good enough to batter them everywhere they went, but we didn't know. We had 3 regulars, if you want to call it that, playing: Ben White, ESR, and Odegaard, and then the other 8 were not necessarily kids by any means, but players who have really had a tough chance coming in, and that's really what this game should have been about. I don't know that we would have seen the same starting 11 if we were playing one of the other big boys. I mean, the draw that we got against Sunderland, especially at home, was a fantastic one. So,
and Magic, let's not forget their manager wanted us. He called for us.
I think that was a joke gone bad. He accidentally ended up on the dressing room chalkboard, I think, with those comments. But to his credit, step up. If the only thing he said, I think, about what he said, then once we take care of Arsenal, we'll get to the real big boys. Was that the comment?
That's correct.
Anyway,
correct. Yes.
All right. So back from the gulag, Bernd Leno. Bernd Leno getting a game, his first one in 2 months since the last League Cup game v Leeds. We're going to go one by one. So Bernd Leno, not a tremendous amount to do, but where did he fit in your player ratings today?
So I think it's unfair that he's being blamed for that goal, right? Because a lot of people are saying, well, Ramsdale would have come off his line. And I asked Mike from You Are My Arsenal, who we did a recording of the goalkeeper show that's going to post tomorrow morning UK time, by the way, you guys, really good show. Is it fair for people to say that? Like, everyone's saying Ramsdale would have come off his line quicker. I think it was a great ball and a great move from Sunderland. And I thought they played nice football at times in that first half. And they deserve that goal completely. It broke down with Pepe. Elneny got a little skinned in the middle, and they played a great through pass and ended up with a great finish. So for me, Leno, he's playing against a League One team. He hasn't played a lot in a long time, Mike. And I think it's unfair to just kind of like rag on him because we've all fallen in love with Ramsdale. He did a decent job against a very inferior team to us. We should have won the way that we did. Conceding a goal, probably not great. I'll give Leno a solid 7. He was decent.
Yeah. I mean
did he put a foot wrong?
No, I mean, it was interesting to see him back, the punchy Leno that loves to punch balls instead of grabbing them. The one thing I've noticed about Ramsdale is you just see him just ingest the ball. You rarely see him. I mean, when it's appropriate, he'll punch out. But he just seems to really grab it much more, and Leno seems to really favor the punch out, which has come back to haunt us in the past. But no, he didn't do anything wrong. I certainly didn't blame him for that goal. If anything, I thought and again, this isn't blame. If anything, I thought Ben White could have gotten to that and kind of done that hook slide thing that you see people do to clear it off of the line. But I don't know that he fancied laying his body out on the line for a goal in a situation where we were probably going to be pretty clearly beating them. But
yeah, I do like how Ben White kind of got a little angry with everyone and got very vocal, without Gabriel next to him. Of course, it's interesting to kind of see the pairings that we've grown to love lately, Mike, and how they perform without those players around them. But yeah, I mean, Leno wasn't troubled too much. I thought he did a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving him a 6.58.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go with the algebra. Get your calculators out, people, because this is going to end up being one of those 7.5231.
6 to the 4th power, tangent 7 cosine. All right. So
Aston's giving him a 4. That's a bit harsh.
I mean, in a game where we win 5-1, to give the keeper a 4 is harsh, but that's Aston for you.
Go on.
Aston will just. All right, Leno already talked about Cedric. Now, I caught you saying earlier this week that you would rather see Callum Chambers in the lineup than Cedric. Maybe we would have seen that, except Callum went out and got COVID.
Did you fall off your chair and were you taken into the ER with concussion?
Well, right as you said, Mike's going to fall off his chair. My chair actually broke, which is like happening weekly right now. But yeah, I mean, I could tell where you were going with that, and frankly, I agreed with you. I think Callum is a better squad player than Cedric. But what do you think about Cedric's performance tonight, though? Because
I just think at times he looked confused about when he was supposed to go forward versus coming back. I think that he had some moments in the game where he was really good. By the way, I just want to interrupt this comment to just say, Sirius, thanks for joining us, a Sunderland fan in the house. And you know what? You did put up a fight. And I hope you stick with this manager. Your fans, by the way, were incredible. And, you did. You gave us a bit of a scare when it went to 2-1. And the injury, the number 9 player, forgive me, I'm having a bit of a brain fart. When he went off, it felt like that was a bit of a blow for your side. But yeah, thank you for joining the podcast, and definitely you did.
Sunderland came to play football today, and
they did.
I was worried that they were going to really just kind of play for the 0-0, make it a boring game to watch, really try to squeak through, and they came right from the off. They came to play football, and
yeah,
I have a respect for a team that loses 5-1 and tries to play football much more than I would a team that plays anti-football and takes it to extra time or loses 1-0. So
totally agree with you, Mike. I'm going to give Cedric a solid 6.5. I agree with a lot of people in the chat. I'm trying to put all your comments up as quickly as I can, you guys. He did have a better game tonight than when he came on as a sub against Leeds. So 6.5 for me. But Mike, it is evident that in certain positions still, God forbid, one of our players is injured, the next step isn't that great. And this is a League One.
In certain positions, yeah.
In certain positions, this is a League One team. It's not like we played a Premier League team. And as we get into this semi-final, when you've got teams like Brentford and Tottenham and City, and are City still in this? Yes, they are, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
No, they're not. They got knocked out.
Who's in here? It's Brentford,
it's
Tottenham,
and Liverpool, I think.
Liverpool. Okay. All right. What do you give Cedric?
I'm going to go with a 6.2. Nothing special. I mean, it is time to consolidate all these different people that can play right back and just kind of get rid in favor of a Nuno Tavares quality right back that can be deputizing for Tomiyasu.
Yes, West Ham. Thank you, Lone Star. Always has my back.
Yeah,
yes, thank you.
So yeah, I mean, nothing special from Cedric today. He didn't really impress me too much, but not. He didn't stick out as in a bad way either, which was not that surprising given the quality of the opponent.
Mike, you bring up a really good point, and I've said this on the show. You have to have that same battle and quality at left back now at right back. Without Tommy, we know we're in trouble, and Maitland-Niles, I think, can do a good job. Apparently, he was ill today, which is why he wasn't in the squad. And I do believe, had he been fit and been able to play, I hope that he would be that choice at right back, because especially with Pepe, they've proved that they can play together well in the past. 510 of you in live chat. Make sure you hug that like button if you love that Patino scored. Go on, Mike.
And I was just going to say, it's interesting whether you think Maitland-Niles would go back to not whether he would or not, because if he's put there, then he plays there. But
right.
Has he now established himself as the third or fourth choice center back to the point where he won't be used at right back anymore, unless we have an absolutely dreadful injury spell on top of AFCON, on top of something else? I'm not really asking you that question. I'm saying that rhetorically speaking, it'd be interesting to see whether he's gotten his way and has gotten out of that right back, right wing back situation.
Well, also Nuno's very versatile.
He can play the right back.
He's played in that position before. All right, let's move on from Cedric.
Holding, Captain Holding, part of the leadership team. Not your favorite guy in the world. How'd you feel he did today?
Well, Mike, actually, when Wenger was here the last tour in the US, I have a clip. I think I've shared it with you when I said to him, Holding seemed like an astute signing and he was doing well. And Wenger offered me a job to be in his scouting team. # just saying. Okay. But he had a
That wasn't when he said, I'm sorry, he only cost $2 million.
Yeah. He had a nightmare in the first half. And I think, Patrick, this is a fair mark for him in the first half. He seemed a bit all over the place. He's given the captain armband. I think he was trying too hard, but in the second half, I think the team kind of collected themselves. Also, credit to whatever was happening at halftime in the dressing room. So for me, again, a drop off when you don't have that partnership, whether it's Ben White and Holding or Gabriel and Holding, is not the same as Ben White and Gabriel together. And I think, for me, he's good to have in the squad. I think he can come on and do bits. But for me, he gets a 6.5. But his hair, crikey. I mean, Mike, that is quite the impressive weave.
I mean, if I had Holding money, I wouldn't necessarily look like this. I mean, there's only so much you can do with the face, though. That's the problem. You
just spend your money in the boozer. That's your problem.
Well, yeah, and on microphone stands and stuff. But yeah. And planes and Airbnbs in London. I mean, there's no better way of spending money on that. My hair is a lost cause, but my ability to travel is I'll be traveling till I die.
Right. You like this comment? Runs with cows. I'm bald and overconfident. I love it.
I have my name is Magic apparently, but this is what I look like. I mean, there's definitely a dichotomy there of what I should be feeling. All right, Ben Holding.
Wait, what's your mark for for Holding?
For Ben Holding, Rob Holding 7.08. Did pull himself together. I think he did a fine job of whatever it is that he's supposed to be doing.
So he had a better second half than he did a first half. He was a little bit lost. Go on, next.
Now, Rob White. Now Ben White, he has been playing these League Cup games. He made it through the full 90. Well, no, he didn't. But he didn't come off injured in this game, at least. His impression on you in this game, did he push the ball forward? Was he all right? How was he without Gabriel to save him?
I think Benjamin is becoming a bit of an unnecessary target. You know how some Arsenal fans always look for a scapegoat in things, whether it's Xhaka, whether it's been Pepe. I think that Ben White tried to show leadership today, and I saw him be more vocal today. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he's playing with, he's played with Nuno, but he's playing with Holding and with Cedric, and that's going to provide problems. I don't care how much training there is going on during the week, Mike. It disrupts your confidence, your trust, and your flow. And he's also got a goalkeeper behind him that hasn't played in the team for a long time. And I really just want everyone to take a step back and stop saying he's 50 million and this. Stop.
That's one of my biggest bugaboos.
It's terrible, because the same thing with Pepe. It's not Pepe's fault that the club paid 72 million for him. It's not Ben White's fault that they paid 50 million. Look, Manchester City paid 100 million for Jack Grealish, and he's not performed for them at all. And he's going out during a pandemic time, having a good time with his buddy Phil Foden. And I say to you, thank goodness we don't have those problems with Saka and Emil Smith Rowe, the maturity level. And I think Ben White deserves a little bit more credit and a little bit more time. And today, I'm not going to kill the team, and I don't want to be negative, because we had two players who have played regularly over the last few games, and there were 9 changes, Mike. So for me, Ben White gets a solid 6.5. I think he tried to lead by example, and I just want people to give him the opportunity and the benefit of the doubt a little bit than they have been.
Yeah. I mean, I'm constantly railing against people judging players based on their price tag, not even just because it isn't under their control, but because it's completely irrelevant. I mean, really what matters more than what you paid for somebody is what you pay them in wages. If you really want to get hung up on on something financial and make players, accountable for, for something financial like that, it should be wages, not transfer fee, because the transfer fee is like a open market thing at one moment in time. It isn't about what the player, so that bothers me in the first place. I take note of the transfer fee, but it's absolutely irrelevant when it comes to it. And Ben White, if he's a player for us for 6 or 7 years, if he renews a contract and continues to be in a partnership with Gabriel, and the second contract isn't someone that we have to pay for to bring in as well, is that not worth it? Of course it is. So anyway, in this game, Ben White, just because I think he might have been able to hook that ball off the line and keep a clean sheet, I'm going to say kind of it was the second straight clean sheet that he could have done something about to change. So I'm going to give him a 5.9. I know that's harsh, but I'm trying to encourage him to come back strong.
I thought that maybe he could. It looked like he could get it, but in the end, the spin of the ball and the wetness of the carpet, I think, didn't allow for that, Mike. But yeah, go on.
I'm trying to do the maths on that, because the carpet plus wetness plus spin. All right, so next, Nuno Tavares. Good to see him back. Perfect opportunity to see him back. Tierney clearly has been playing a lot lately, and Nuno had a pretty big impact on this game. I'm gonna send it to you first, because that's
Mike.
what
I love him.
Did he do anything to? I mean, people were talking about him a lot before the game. A lot of positives before the game. A lot of, this is exactly what we've always wanted: 2 guys that can play left back. And then he went out tonight again against the team that was playing against him. You couldn't do anything about that, and bossed it, didn't he?
Yeah. Listen, I think a lot of folks might think that Nuno has deficiencies because he likes to go forward a lot, and coming back, maybe he's not like Tierney. But what I love about him is, how sometimes every team needs a little bit of an unpredictability, Mike. They need a bit of a X factor about them. Ramsdale's got the crazy goalkeeper vibe about him. Gabriel's got that stoic kind of leadership. You're not going to get past me. I'm the Great Wall of Gabriel. You've got that Lacazette has this identity. And when you look at the team over the last few games, the reason we're playing with a bit more speed up front is because he opens channels. His positioning is great. And what I love about Nuno is, if you look at him and just isolate his play in this match, he's very good at crossing the ball. He can play it to feet, but he can also cross it in the air. But in the air to where it lands in a position. And a lot of the times, there wasn't anyone there to finish some of his passing today. I absolutely love the fact that he's an X factor. Martinelli's an X factor. You've got ESR, who has this insatiable appetite to just kind of like shoot and I think has more strength than people think. So for me, Nuno steps in and complements whoever's around him, all those players I've mentioned. But at the same time, I love that he has tenacity and an unpredictability factor. So he gets an 8 for me. I loved what he did today. Am I I
No,
went everywhere there. I
I've
was
got,
here, there, and everywhere.
speaking of maths, I've got him at an 8.1415927.
Yeah.
And I would leave that to someone in the chat to point out why that's significant. But yeah, Tavares is I mean, I think where he has suffered, and this is a very small sample size, but where he's suffered is in points where maybe he has a little bit less time to make decisions, a little bit less time on the ball against faster wingers, against faster pressing teams. We saw it against Liverpool. We saw it a little bit, I guess, against was it United?
Mm-hmm.
He struggled in those games, so it's easy to take that and say, well, Nuno's fine to play against bottom teams, but he can't play against top teams.
But he doesn't hide when he makes mistakes in those games, Mike. He still goes for it. I love that. How many players have we had? Bellerin hid, Mustafi hid, unless he made a mistake. Kolasinac, they all went hiding when things got tough. Yeah. And even though like Sambi and Nuno may have made mistakes, they're willing to keep putting themselves out there. That's what I love about them.
You have a team full of people under 23. You're going to get those, and the number of those that we've had in the last 2 months is a lot less than you would expect from a team of people who are all 19 to 23 years old. So if this is their learning year, and this is the level that we're playing at as a team so far, I got no problem with that. So Nuno's an 8+ pie, as someone did get in the chat.
If we had, by the way, there's someone who's really bugged by the decimal points, but I love it. Keep going. If we had a headerer of the ball, headerer
heterosexual player
of the ball, watch how many conversions there'd be from Nuno crosses. Seriously, he's really good at. And Stephen, you're right, unpolished diamond.
Yeah, Nuno puts in those crosses that Giroud would have a field day with, and Tierney puts in the crosses that ESR would have a field day because he puts it in. He puts the cutback right to the onrushing player in the middle of the box. They're both very good at crossing, but in very different and unique ways, which is great to have that luxury.
David, I'd like to know who took the jam out of your donut today, sweetheart. You're very upset about everything. Like, seriously, we're in the semi-final of the League Cup. It's the potential of winning another trophy. And we changed 9 players today who haven't played together at all season. Ordinarily, people would say and crush us if we'd have lost or drawn to a team like Sunderland, who are in League One. So just take a step back, take a deep breath, have a little tipple, and just enjoy the fact that we were able to get through this match in the fashion of which we did. Who's next, Mike? We're 32 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten to the midfield yet.
Okay, let's do this. I just pushed the open mic show back 15 minutes. So just disregard the tweets. Disregard the tweets that in 12 minutes are going to say that we're live, but still come over after. Elneny, no surprise to see him today in this game. Your thoughts on Mo Elneny?
I've seen the show. I've worn the T-shirt. I drank from the mug. He gets a 5. He's not great.
The only thing he was going to do today that was going to be exceptional probably was a 35-yard screamer, as he does, and we didn't get one of those today. So I mean, what are you going to do?
Dare I say, Sidewell's Elneny, Winston, looked better when Xhaka came on. Ooh, did I say that out loud?
I hope not.
I hope not. Well, I think I did. I mean, look, I've seen it before. So for me, decent. Uta, I agree with you. 5, 6. I'll give him a 6.
Well, and he was so kind of plain and predictable and nothing special that I'm giving him a 6. And that's remarkable in the sense that it's just a 6. There's nothing else. Just 6.0000.
Can I just address this real quick? But most of you YouTubers love negativity. That's why you get comments like David's. No, unfair. That's not true. Not on this channel. Absolutely not. And if Kevin was here, he'd tell you. And then, Kenny, you've been on this show with your negative comments that we put up on screen all the time.
I think the first half of that is more true than the second half of that. I think generally speaking, and I don't mean to open up a whole can of worms, people who consume YouTube do love negativity and strife. I think that's what's so unique about the Highbury Squad, however, is that you've created a community that is large and growing and isn't like that. That's why I love being on here so much. In general, I think he's absolutely right about that. I think he's wrong about Dan Potts.
Correct.
But he's right about the YouTube community, which is why I love when that trend is bucked.
Magic Mike, we have a latecomer to the show. We are not going to bench him and we are not going to fine him. That is because he was broadcasting on Sky Sports. This is the show that keeps on giving. Just call me Santa Soph. Welcome, the legend.
Bo! Sophie, how you doing? Magic, how you doing?
Kevin, I love you, my friend.
I haven't got long, but as opposed to doing a video.
Well, we were just getting to Martin Odegaard.
Oh,
wow. Now, were you working the game tonight? You were working our game tonight, or were you?
Yep.
All right, so field level, we see you in the background frequently when you're doing this. Should I ask if you just for overall opinion, or should I go right into Odegaard? So what
I would love Kevin to give us. We've done Leno. We've done the back five. We've done the back five, Kev.
I'm not going to get involved with what you guys are getting involved with. You guys are already in flow. So I'll just give you a summary of what I thought because you're already in it. I don't want to mess up what you guys are doing. But I thought the attitude was right today. I really thought the attitude was right. I thought we approached it right. Sunderland weren't bad to start with, to be honest, but it was just a matter of if we kept our head and we played, we'll beat them. Good to see Eddie score, get a hat-trick. You know, good to see Pepe and Cedric link up down that right-hand side. I thought
Is that aimed at me? I think so.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just calling it like I see it. Just like
so. Cedric entertained you today, Kev?
Of course. What I'm saying is him and Pepe, I thought, done really well down that right-hand side. Obviously, for Pepe's goal, Cedric picked him back out where normally he could have put it across, picked him out. And then we went back to our old ways a little bit where we took a step back, didn't we? We let Sunderland come into it. And because we weren't aggressive, we get exposed through the midfield. It was a bit of an adventurous system because Elneny was the only holding midfielder. And as you saw second half, the moment Granit Xhaka came on the pitch, someone with a bit of nous, we shut up the midfield and then we could take them apart. So, you know, look, really good to see Balogun start. Although you could probably see he's got wonderful attributes, but he needs a loan. He needs to be playing league football for me. He really does. Good to see. Sophie, I know you're going to say something, but just wait till I finish. Sophie's chomping at the bit. I could hear it.
I love seeing you. Go on.
Great to see Eddie get a hat-trick. And I know he's much maligned and all that, but listen, this guy's been incredible. I thought Martin Odegaard is showing just what a good player he is, by the way. I thought he was outstanding. Pepe was outstanding as well. Where we needed performances, we got performances. And then the icing and the cherry on top was seeing Charlie Patino take the pitch.
What?
And Pepe pick him out for the fifth goal.
What was the crowd? What was the crowd? I mean, what was the scene in the Emirates when he finishes that goal?
Oh, listen, it erupted. And do you know what I really loved as well? When he scored, he had the obligatory slide on his knees. he got up, and all of the team were on him. All of the team were so pleased for him. You know, this kid, no, seriously, he looks under 16.
Well, I didn't realize I mean, look, this isn't anything that he can do anything about, and I'm not poking fun at it or anything, but like he has the face with the marks and the. I mean, he looks like a 13-year-old.
He looks like my child. I'm old enough to. I look like I could be his mom.
Yeah, you know.
I'm surprised he doesn't have braces and stuff.
Well, one thing we do know, he has a big talent, and we've been chomping at the bit to try and see him. And he gets an opportunity in the quarterfinal. He comes on, and we've spoke about it many times, Sophie. When you get your chance, you got to take it. And boy, did he take it. He really took it. So I'm delighted for Hayland. I'm delighted for Arsenal. I'm delighted for some of the experienced players to do their thing. But most of all, Eddie Nketiah with a hat-trick, he steals the show.
You know what? This is Eddie's. A lot of fans on Twitter were talking about changing the competition to the Eddie Nketiah Invitational.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us agree that maybe in the Premier League, he hasn't set the world on fire, but that's the point of having a squad, that you have players that can come in and finish the job, Kev. Yeah. And one of the things we've always argued about is who's able to come in and who's able to perform. I think when we look at certain players, we know that when it comes to the Premier League and facing some of the top teams, we're still a little bit short on that talent. Like if a Tommy goes out, if you're looking up front, if you're looking at Saka, if you're looking at, Gabriel Martinelli, all of these different players, of course, they're on another level. They've played a lot more. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, by the way, Kev, I predicted 5-1. Do you remember that?
Oh, no, you did as well, didn't you? Not 2 in a row. My goodness, 2 in a row, Magic.
So Stradamus.
Hey, do you know what?
Stradamus is back, Kev.
Hey, listen, listen. I wanted 5-0 and they got 5-1. Sophie got it right. Well done, Sophie.
Yeah. Kev, I know I really went in on Cedric. Can you just explain to me, there were times where he looked like really good going forward and a little bit dubious knowing when to go and when to come back in this match. I don't want to overly kill anybody, because for me, I felt like it was a positive performance. Players came in, they did their jobs. We beat a League One team 5-1. Mm-hmm. That's the result that we would all expect. But in the past, the Arsenal haven't been able to do that. So to see these players come in and actually perform, double nutmegs from Pepe, and a hat-trick from Nketiah, who people don't think can start in the Premier League. Can you talk about the difference in the levels, though? Because I don't want people to get carried away thinking, well, Eddie should get a new contract now, or this player should come in now, or Cedric's going to be able to deputise for Tommy. That's the levels I just want managed.
Well, he's already been offered a new contract and he's turned it down. And you can understand why, Sophie, because he feels he can go somewhere and play, okay? Which is fine. But where we are, we're looking at a different level of player to bring into this club to really help these youngsters. And obviously Aubameyang's not there. Lacazette's only got 6 months. So we're going to be looking to bring in a more experienced player. We're going to have to get Balogun out on loan, get him kind of up to speed a little more, because he does have certain attributes. He's jet-paced, and he just needs to have a bit more know-how. That's all. He just needs a bit more experience. Nothing against him, but he just needs to understand the game a little bit more, and that happens when he goes out on loan, especially. So, hey, listen, I think we're in a good spot, Sophie. Regarding Cedric, I think these guys haven't played, and sometimes it's difficult to find a rhythm. The rhythm of the team when you are playing sometimes just isn't there. We've seen the team mess up last season, but this squad seems to be moving in on a high. The confidence seems to be in and around it at the moment. So the players who come in, I thought Rob Holding done okay today as well. You know, players who have come in, done well. I thought Pepe, Pepe had certain points where he wasn't careful with the ball. We saw Tavares wasn't careful with the ball at times. But you know what I saw? I saw Cedric willing to get outside Pepe to make a difference with him. And they used that partnership to pretty good effect. So, hey, it's not going to be perfect, Sophie. I get that. And there's going to be times where Cedric isn't Tommy. I get that. But against this opposition, I thought he done okay tonight.
We got to make sure not to lose these players for free, though. I mean, if Nketiah walks for free, that's a squandered opportunity. I agree with you, Kevin, that he's not good enough to be starting for us week in, week out. I mean, he's at a level, and Balogun, I think, a little bit rawer version of this. He's at a level where we know he can play football. Yeah. We know he can be a talisman for a team if he finds the right team at the right level. So, there's got to be value in that. And I mean, is he out of contract this summer or next summer?
Yeah, this summer.
This summer.
We got to do something.
No, he's gone. Listen, Mike, unfortunately, because of our past, we do not have the luxury to be able to move and shake some of these guys and keep a strong squad. These guys are our squad. So if you're going to try and cash in on somebody, then you've got to be bringing in better. And that's not going to happen until probably the end of the season for us. So
yeah, and I just want to make sure too that the same grace we've given to certain players to settle into this team and the same grace that we've given the manager to settle in as a manager, please do the same for Balogun. And Stephen rightly says he's played out of position. It is a little unfair. The same happened against Brentford. He tried so hard, and maybe at times he was trying too hard today. I said to Magic on WhatsApp earlier, Kev, Arteta played them both up front, maybe to prove a point that one is ready more than the other, maybe not, to give him a chance too. But for me, I just want us to make sure Eddie's been on loan to Leeds. He's been out there. Balogun has not. And I just want everyone to just kind of take a step back and just be forgiving, because he's a young player trying to make his way, Kev, at this time.
Sophie,
you know?
Sophie, 100%. And it's no fault of Balogun's that he isn't up the pecking order. So he's not up the pecking order solely because he hasn't been exposed to the football that Eddie Nketiah has.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we can put to bed the fact that somehow Arteta has made the wrong decision by not throwing Balogun into the fire, or Balogun, as that guy kept saying today. I don't really
understand. What was that about?
Like he must have gotten some sort of piece of intel that's what he likes to be called, because I've never heard anyone call him that.
Well, I've never heard anyone call him that. But anyway, what I will say is this. Balogun playing on the left was probably the best place for him to be, because if he's playing with his back to goal, he's going to take the hits.
Yeah.
He's going to take a lot more hits, and it's a lot more physical in there. That's why I like Martinelli playing out wide. Although he got a kick tonight, he's not going to get the hits that he would inside. There's a lot more bodies in there. There's a lot more traffic in there. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of traffic in there. Balogun, we just need to get him up to speed. He needs to play football. He needs to play men's football. 23's football is too easy for him.
Yeah.
Knowing when to do the right things, knowing how to get the ball, shift it quick, move it, shift it and move. All of these little things.
Caress it, nut it.
Everything. Nut it, smash it.
Bat
just like
it.
the like button, everybody.
Wait, Mike, show Kev. Go on, tell him. Go on.
Come on.
Go on, do it. Do it.
All right, so we got 672 in the live chat. We got 253 likes. Come on, you got to nut it. You got to hit it, caress it. We need
smash it. Come on, Mike.
Hit it, battle it. Come on,
smash it. Do a Vinny. Come on, Mike. Do a Vinny.
We are in the semi-final of the League Cup. We haven't won it since this legend was in the squad. Kev, what Odegaard for me is the conductor of an orchestra now. You've spoken about him at the beginning. Well, this is where we left off. What was your mark for him?
Odegaard was 8 for me. Oh my God. Do you know what? You see that pass for Pepe for Eddie's third goal?
I've seen someone in the chat say that he almost forced Pepe into making a better play than Pepe was going to make.
Pepe weren't even ready for it, but the ball made his mind up. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we've spoken about it before, Sophie. Movement will kill teams. And if you just play it, the manager's probably said, listen, just play it. Don't be too conservative. And now you're seeing him start to play balls through teams. He's an excellent player. Odegaard is an excellent, and he's got economy in his game, which is what the big players have. Economy.
Yeah, it was brilliant stuff. For me, he gets a 9. He was the man of the match. He conducted everything. And I love how he's growing into this role. This is the role, Mike, that I want Partey to mold into too. Bossing the midfield when he gets those chances, when he's in games. Odegaard, no matter who he's playing against right now. And of course, we need to do it against better teams at a higher level. That is the next progression for this squad. All right, what's next, Magic?
We have ESR. ESR comes into the game after being a kind of a plan B, not a plan B, but a super sub in the last 3 or 4 games. and to me picks up right where he left off. Kevin, we haven't talked really much since
I'm
you
just
came
going to
in
let
about
Kevin
ESR.
talk. I would give ESR a 7 just because he's always in there. Kev.
And I'm going 6.789. Kevin.
Lovely.
Yeah, listen, Smith Rowe gets a 7 from me. I watch him and he sets tempo. Like the best European teams go slow, fast. When the ball, you watch Smith Rowe, he gets it, he passes it, he gets it, he passes it, and then all of a sudden the ball gets played into him, and one touch, he plays it forward and he injects pace into our attack. It is so hard to defend. And some of the time, he's the one who sets the tempo going, and maybe the ball gets switched out to our right-hand side, and they get down our right-hand side, but he's the one who sets the tempo. Often overlooked some of these things, maybe didn't have the goal-scoring opportunities that he usually does. Hit a great left-footed volley in the first half. Listen, I just think Emil Smith-Rowe, played his part tonight. Didn't need to be spectacular, but when he needed to, he upped the tempo for us.
You can't have 5 9s in the squad. I mean, there's not enough football to go around to have 5 9s. Like, I don't mean the position. I mean,
is that
like
5'9"?
No, I mean like players who are going to be rated a 9 out of 10. You can
I'm
only have a couple.
Mike.
Yeah. But I'm seeing 4s and 5s for ESR in the chat.
That's unfair. You know what? You don't always. I think what we always want the spectacular now from certain players, and when you don't get the spectacular, it feels like they haven't had a good game. But ESR definitely had a mature, I thought, did his job type of game, kept the ball, moved the ball when he needed to. He didn't get his goal. He had a thunderous shot, like Kev said. I mean, I think also, we just need to kind of take a step back and say a 4. That's a bit unfair. So
sometimes when people watch him, if you don't do anything spectacular, that means he can't get a good mark. No, that's not how football's played. Sometimes football's played where the likes of Ødegaard gets to space.
Right.
So Ødegaard's the one who's got to hurt the opposition. When the opposition then adjust and try and shut Ødegaard down, then Smith Rowe has the opportunity to hurt the team. But they were happy to kind of let Ødegaard do his thing. But they were damn sure not going to make ESR hurt them too much.
Yeah, and I do agree with John. Good evening, John, by the way. I hope you're well and everything's good in your universe, mate. I do think there was a bit of laziness. If I'm going to criticize him for anything, and Pepe, but Pepe, it's a very harsh criticism. They're tracking back and a little bit of being cheap with the ball on a couple of occasions, but that's it. Mike, let's go on,
Sophie? Sometimes against lesser opposition, you get away with that.
Yes.
Because when you're at the top end of the pitch, that's where you take risks. You expect Arsenal to be able to, if you lose the ball in your final third, you don't really expect Sunderland to play through you the way they did and score.
Mm-hmm. But they took us by surprise in that first half, didn't they?
Fair play to them. They had a right goal. They noticed where the spaces were, and they played direct right through us.
And at that moment, I actually smiled. I said, "All right, they're here to play football." And now they're certainly not going to go back and try to play for a draw because they've shown that they want a counterpunch. And at that point, I knew we were going to score 4 or 5 against them because of the way that the game was open. We've talked about Balogun, so let's just give it a number. I'm giving him a 5.12.
I'm giving Balogun a 6. I thought he worked hard. I thought he tried really hard. And it's amazing when the chances, you see chances on the side and you think, I could do that. Then when the chances come, they come a bit quicker. That header in the first half.
That would have been a great goal.
That would have been a great goal. He had a shot that the keeper saved as well. So listen, he worked hard. I thought second half, him and Tavares kind of linked up pretty well for Eddie Nketiah's goal as well. So that was good. And then he came off, saved his legs a bit, and because he'd been booked. So, probably the right thing to do to take him off.
Yeah, agree. I'm going to give him a 5.5, a 6 for effort. I mean, he was trying so hard. I felt for him. He really wants to get that goal and give it a shot in this team when he has the opportunities. And you know what? He's learning. Like Arteta's learned, like Eddie's learned on loan, like a lot of Emil Smith
Martinelli's
Rowe
learned,
going to
Smith-Rowe's learned,
Huddersfield.
Saka's learned. They're all
of
learning.
them. So for me, I think he's definitely a future star. But right now, I think he would benefit going on loan like everybody else. So
I think
this game probably for effort.
He's too good for the U23s. He's not good enough for first team. That just screams loan. Unless he turns out to just be a big fish in a little pond type player, and some people are like that. But all right, so this leaves 2 starters, Pepe and Nketiah. Let's talk about them together in the interest of time. Who Scored is an interesting website that has ratings on players. You rarely see somebody get above a 9. Both of those players got a 9.8 on Who Scored today. It's a little bit skewed by goals and assists, but I mean, Pepe is a player that's gotten a lot of criticism, either criticism of himself or criticism of Arteta for basically banishing him for the team. There's no in between where he might just be good enough to play once in a while and show that he still has the quality. I loved seeing him perform today. Does that mean he should start against Norwich? No. But he's pushing the envelope, and he showed that he's got it, right, Kev? I mean, he's a good player. He's a very good player.
Magic, one thing nobody will ever say against Pepe is he doesn't have talent. He has talent in abundance. And when he has time, we saw him a little bit loose with the ball at times, let's be honest. But we also saw him devastating. We saw him attack the fullback. We saw him nutmeg the defender twice, embarrass him. We saw him assist brilliant goals, pick people out in the box. You know, the Eddie Nketiah one and that Patino one, fantastic. That were real quality play. And yeah, the opposition isn't the best level, but he hasn't been able to play really a lot of minutes at the top level. So this is the chance he gets, and he shines. So listen, I'm giving him a 9 on that performance. I thought, goal production was top draw tonight. And Nketiah, I'm giving 9.5. Hat trick, goal scorers union, Mike. He's got to get 9.5.
The guy loves this competition. I mean, how did you do in the League Cup compared to? Obviously
we won it, Mike. Don't even tell me about that. We won it.
I wasn't asking how the team did. I know that.
Mike. I know the whole thing. The cups are about winning it.
But were there players?
How I done? I won it. That and the FA Cup in the same year. So please don't even give me none of that. We won the thing. Rock it up.
I don't know what I did wrong. All I was trying to find out was, are there players who tend to show up in the League Cup that aren't necessarily always going to get the chance in the league? I know your cred. I love you, man.
And sometimes, Mike,
I love you, man.
Mike, and because of the way the way George Graham picked the squad, there were times that was me. I was getting my opportunity in the cup side sometimes. But
that was the question. That was all.
Yeah, but George Graham, he was smart. He could rotate, and we could still be as strong. So, listen, we were blessed then with a team who we could really rotate. Now we're starting to get there with a team who 9 changes, and we're still strong. So, fair play.
Wow, I'm getting killed with the chat now. I didn't diss you at all. I love you.
You're dissing me, Mike. I come on there. You're giving it all the listen. You hit the smash it, like it, all that kind of thing, and then you're telling me what were you like in the League Cup? I'm out of here, so I can't take Magic anymore. I can't take him anymore. Brock, listen, I'm going to leave the squaddies. Now, people are going to think you're actually mad at me. No, Magic. I'm going to leave the squaddies. You've got your wife. You've taken my spot tonight, so I'm going to leave you to it. I love you, Sophie. Magic, don't diss me again. Squaddies, all the very best. Take it easy.
Don't break my camera.
Don't break it. See you later, Magic. See you, Soph.
Love you, Kev.
Bye. Love you, man. Love you.
If you don't love me, I love you.
Love you. Squaddies! Get him!
Oh, what just happened? You're on mute now or something. Yeah. So I don't know what that was. I did not diss him. I was just trying to find out.
it, paste it, copy it.
Get put in your place. Yeah, that's what just happened. I got broke up. All right, so
all right, okay, so that's a good.
Balogun and Nketiah. Let's just combine score. 20? Is it 20?
Sure.
I'm giving him a 27. And yes, Mark. I did know Super Kev won the League Cup. I only asked if there were players, not him.
Mike, I'm gonna have to give you a yellow.
Oh my God, this day is getting worse. I've been misquoted.
In the book, Mike the Gooners.
I've been misquoted. All I said was, are there players in the style of Nketiah who can blossom in the League Cup? Oh my God,
it's great. Kev will be back tomorrow night. He'll be back tomorrow night. You know how much he loves you, and he's working. And he popped in, and he stayed a bit longer than he should have.
Yeah, right now he popped in and apparently got insulted by some big fat guy in America.
This is how we roll on the show. Absolutely. I mean, he made mincemeat out of you there a little bit.
Well, he's one of the few people that I will allow to speak to me that way. All right.
I'll give the manager an 8.
I'll give the manager an 8. The last thing I just want to say is, there ever been a football match in the history of football where two guys named Gabby have been subbed in at the exact same time? Because I've never seen it before. I went back in my database and I've never seen Gabby and Gabby come in together. But
that I've not seen before. That I've not seen before. And very good. You always pick up on those little clever things, Mike. Well done. You've redeemed yourself a little bit. And you know what? If we do not talk about this kid for a little bit,
that's where we need to end.
Okay, go on.
I mean, Charlie Patino. So
it was after that. Okay, so I thought that him coming on and having the moment was just a beautiful thing. The fact that he was able to come on, everyone wanted to see him on the bench. Everyone dreamed that he would get some minutes. He had 10, and I love that he took the goal off Eddie, because Eddie was ready to get his 4th, like literally right behind him. But the pass over was great. The pass from Pepe was amazing. He was in the right position at the right time. He's doing bits in the under-23. He's a superstar in the making. He's definitely a star of the future. And to get that goal, these are the moments that we love. Hey, Len boys, this is the Arsenal future. And to see that moment was just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So for Charlie, he gets an 8 for coming on, having 10 minutes and getting his goal. He's a babyface assassin. And I hope that this is the beginning of seeing him get more opportunities in the semi-final and, as time goes on. So let's manage him well. Let's not have overly crazy expectations. But my goodness, what a beautiful moment.
I mean, at this point in the first team for Arsenal, he's averaging 9 goals a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you extrapolate it over the course of 90 minutes, he's scoring 9 goals every 90 minutes. So I think that, to expect him to at least do half of that in the future games would be reasonable. But
no, was that his brother that ran on the pitch? That's not true, is it?
His brother for pitch invader?
Well, did you see when he scored? A kid ran on the pitch.
I didn't. I was too busy tweeting Patino with a bunch of random characters afterwards because I was so excited.
That would be crazy. And also, it's 2 Gabbies from Brazil as well, Mike. So you double down on your stat there.
I would venture to say that has never ever happened before. So
wow. I don't know if that was his brother, but I tell you what, if that was his brother, absolutely brilliant. Magic.
But speaking of absolutely brilliant, the squaddies absolutely killing me in the chat. And I'm sensing this level of ire, like they're digging into me because they know I can take it, but they know that I didn't mean it. And I just love every single one of them.
Brilliant stuff.
I love every single one, and I hope to see every single one of them in about 2 minutes on the other side.
What's the link, Mike? Give everyone the link.
The link to be a part of the Gooner Open Mic show is GoonerOpenMic.com. That'll get you backstage. Hope that you can be a little bit patient. We'll bring people on, try to cycle them through. If you just want to watch it, go to goonersubscribe.com. It'll take you to our YouTube channel, or look at our Twitter, and you can watch the show. We're gonna have another relaxed hour of chat. I've enjoyed this so much. So thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's great to have you on. Love it. I'm going to play a little video for everyone too on the outro. Please be sure to stay tuned. Mike is the pioneer, the trailblazer of Gooners versus Cancer, recent award at the football content, an award winner at the Football Content Awards as well. Has done incredible things to raise money for cancer, and has galvanized the Arsenal community across the board, whether it's Super Kev, Lee Dixon, Alan Smith, and they have a phenomenal giveaway, if you like. You can donate and go into a hat, a drawing for a Arsenal shirt, which has some of, I think, the most unique aspect of any giveaway I've ever seen. It's just a beautiful thing. And the video explains it all, doesn't it, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, the video, I think, as anyone else, I was asked to give a little bit more Cockney, but no, the video, I think
do it, mate. Come on. Give us a pan of potatoes.
This does not do it justice, but there is not another piece of Arsenal memorabilia, in my opinion, that exists in the world that is this special. Maybe you might have a different opinion, and you can win it. And all you got to do is donate $25 or the equivalent in pounds or other currency, and you have a name in the hat. There's 500 entries that we're going to cap it at, so it's not one of these things where you have a 1 in 5,000 chance of winning. You have a 1 in 500 chance or more if you donate more than 25, and you'll have this shirt. So thank you so much for having me. I love you as always.
Love you too. Have a great show when you pop over. The Highbury Squad returns tomorrow night with myself and Mr. Super Kevin Campbell. We will leave you with this video. Please be sure to go over to Gooners v Cancer and check it out. From all corners of the earth, Canada, Uganda, New Zealand, Australia, England, parts of America, parts of Europe, South America, Asia. There's no show without you. Thank you so much for all that you do always and tuning in. Please be sure to go and join the boys over at Gooners Pod right now. And we will see you tomorrow night.
Good ball by Dixon. The top, charging to the midfield. Thomas. It's up for grabs now. Thomas. Right at the end.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.